Welcome to another episode of the Meal Prep Monday podcast. I'm your host and founder of Prep Dish, Allison Schaaf. Today, I'm talking about why I'm not adding on anything new for 2025 health goals and habits, but I am going to walk through what has been working really well for me in 2024 that I plan to continue. Before we get into today's episode, I have a email to read from Prep Dish customer Katie. Katie says, I cannot say enough about Prep Dish. It's been so much more than a service. It's like a family member that helps pick out fun new foods and then plans all of the week's meals together for cost, time and effort efficiencies. It changed my life 3 years ago and subsequently my family's life by taking creative pressure, shopping logistics, and introducing us to so many new foods that we wouldn't have otherwise tried. Happy customers for sure. Katie, thank you so much for sharing and for being a happy Prep Dish customer. If you are listening to this and have not tried our time-saving meal plans, head to prepdish.com/MPM. That's short for Meal Prep Monday, and you can try out our meal plans for 2 weeks for free. Again, that's prepdish.com/MPM. Okay, so for today, I was kind of looking at the lineup for January, and I hinted at something last week, nothing to share yet, hopefully soon. And a lot of times, I'll do kind of goal setting or looking into the new year. And I wanted to reflect and share my health and wellness goals for 2025. And basically, all of them are maintenance. I'm not adding anything new. I think sometimes I'm not removing anything. I think sometimes removing is more important than adding. So before I even dive into this, I would say if you're stuck at what to do with your 2025 goals, I would recommend looking at what you currently have going on and is there something you could stop doing versus trying to add in another thing. I sometimes feel like stopping something is more important than adding. But I will go through some of the wellness habits. Some of these were created before 2024. Some of them were kind of newish. And the ones that I'm going to continue on into 2025, just kind of as a maintenance. So first one is doing my little mini trampoline. I have talked about this, how I have it right beside my desk here where I'm recording. I don't always work at the desk, but when I do, I try and do 1 or 2 minutes. What I have now started doing is in the morning before I start my work day, I just come into my little shop. It's like my workout area too. And I will jump on there. I'm up to 2.5 minutes, but I have started lifting again in later 2024. So now what I do is I kind of use it as a warm up to get into my weightlifting, as long as it's not a really heavy lifting day. And then even just throughout the day, if I need a pick me up or something like that, I'll just get on there for a few minutes. And I found by keeping it to, 2 to 3 minutes, it really makes it a lot more manageable for me. The second one is weightlifting. Like I just said, got back into this. I was doing it for a long time. I did cut it out when Tovin was born. It's too much when, you have those newborn nights and you're not sleeping. I didn't want to be also lifting heavy weights, but I did a lot of reading and research on protein, hormones, all these things, a lot of health things that are relevant and interesting to me personally in 2024. And in doing all that reading and research, I have just become so, determined that lifting weights is really important for my health, for me to be the mom I want to be now, and especially on into the future, and the grandma I want to be to my kids when they have kids. And so I'm really determined to keep that one up. And I've seen a noticeable difference. One being that it's really helped my sleep by doing the heavy weightlifting. I've noticed I will sleep for longer durations since I started that up again. Third, more water. I don't know, I never set that out as a goal, but I kind of noticed that I wasn't staying hydrated enough. So I just kind of have added it in a few places throughout my day. Specifically, whenever I'm in the car, I will fill up a large jug and just kind of chug it before I get home. So that kind of gets in a few cups extra each day. Fourth one, daily walk. This I've been doing for years. I don't know, most of my adult life. I just go on a walk every day. Sometimes it's 5 minutes. I usually try and fit in 15 to 20. That's more for my mental health than anything, but I just have to get outside for that daily walk. And number 5 is my morning routine. I'm going to list it off. You guys are going to think I'm ridiculous because there's a lot that's in it. The thing I do like about it, and I've heard other people say it this way too, is the important part of a morning routine is, yes, I have all these things I'm going to list, but on any given day, if I wake up to a baby crying, I'm not going to worry about skipping half or most of these items. It's meant to be that way, to where if I wake up at 5 a.m. and no one else wakes up till 6:30, I have time to make breakfast and do all of my things. Sometimes that happens and it's lovely and I love it, but there's plenty of days where it doesn't. I can't control what time my kids wake up. I try and it doesn't happen. So I will read through what I do. And the other thing is I can kind of like condense how quick these things are. So sometimes on the weekend, for example, maybe I do wake up at the same time as the kids and I'll, look at Brooke and be like, hey, can I have 3 minutes to go outside for meditation? And 3 minutes makes a big difference. So I will list through what my mornings currently look like. And this is on a good day. So when I wake up, one, I make sure that breakfast is going and kind of get that started. That way, when people do wake up, breakfast is ready and we're not having to wait on it. And then I head outside, and I always sit outside, even if it's cold. I found that as long as I have a warm blanket, I can sit outside in the Texas cold. I have hot lemon water with some sea salt. I have Tulsi tea that I also drink in the mornings. I will start with a meditation. I've also started adding in during my meditation, doing the box breathing, like the alternate nose type breathing, which has been nice. I will then journal. I just do one page, but the one page really helps to clear my mind in a way that the meditation doesn't, just by getting things out. I then do reading. Right now I'm reading through the Bible. I'm working my way through the New Testament this year. And then I have breakfast with my family. And then later in the morning, I kind of do my workout. I also am writing. I'm still working on my memoir, but that's kind of lumped into my morning routine, even though in between there is like kids waking up and doing all the morning scramble. Oh, and also taking my supplements is kind of part of that as well. So there's kind of all these little things, but again, they can take as much as, an hour if I wake up before everyone else, but then they can easily be condensed down into 10 minutes where I just kind of like check off the list of things that I want to do. And maybe I skip the journaling or the reading, but I do always make sure and go out and just have a few minutes of quiet time. I will say now that the kids are older, Ivan's especially, he's just turned 6, he will come and sit out with me and do my meditation with me. So that's really nice. For years, they've kind of seen me do it. Sometimes they'll say they want to do it with me, and sometimes they'll both do it. Usually 7's still sleeping. Sometimes he'll join me, but I found as they get older, they're better at not just saying they want to do it, but actually like sitting there and doing it. And we kind of have some special one-on-one time as well. So it's been, again, this kind of flexible thing of it works for me, but then also, having it work for our family. I don't want it to be like, oh, mom is away for this whole hour. If you wake up, don't disturb me. It's like, I want that to also be some special time with the kids as they wake up and involve them as well. So those are, oh, nope, I had one more. I can't forget. So the last one of things that have been working for me, this is well before 2024, but that is having a meal plan for the week, doing some sort of meal prep. It looks different depending on the season. Right now, I'm kind of doing it during mealtime and maybe 1 or 2 prep sessions each week, but using the super fast meals specifically so I can get in that 30 grams of protein, which I know I've talked about a lot, but that really helps to make sure all of my meals I'm getting at least 30 grams of protein. But doing those super fast plans is also a habit that I plan to continue on into 2025. As I mentioned at the beginning, if you have not signed up and want to try those meal plans, it's prepdish.com/MPM for Meal Prep Monday. And those are the habits that I plan to carry on into 2025. I want to keep up with that. And I'm not adding anything new. I think that's good sometimes to not add new things in and just kind of keep what's working and out with what's not. So if you would like to share what's working for you or not, or what habits you plan to add or take away in 2025, I'm at Prep Dish on Instagram. We also have our Prep Dish Facebook group. I always love to hear from you guys on there. One last thing, if you are a longtime listener of this podcast and have not shared a rating or review, please do that. It just really helps people to find this podcast. I am, on episode 200 and something, and it really just helps to get more listeners. If you have an episode, if you enjoyed this episode and you just want to share with someone, that can really help too. Just take a quick screenshot or click that share button and share with someone that might get some value out of these episodes. I would really appreciate that. Okay, that's all I have for this week. I will be back again next Monday with another episode.